Hello and welcome to Fantasy Fanatic, the podcast that helps you find new, emerging, and undiscovered fantasy podcast content. I'm Greg, the host and curator of Fantasy Fanatic. If you are a fantasy fanatic, click that subscribe button. This is a podcast feature episode. If you like the creator, check out the episode notes for links to subscribe. Today's episode is from I Seen It. Jordan and Don are two unprofessional movie fans who will watch and discuss anything. The greater the danger, the greater the fun. All right, let's get this show started.
Begin.
Hello and welcome to I Seen It. I am Don, the world's greatest lover. I am with me, like usual, is Jordan W. Jordan, how are you today?
Well, in the words of the great Jim Leahy, I'm sober enough to know what I'm doing and drunk enough to really enjoy doing it.
Ooh. Strong words from a man who knows how to softball.
Yeah, I'm drinking Stella Artois. I'm fucking fancy tonight.
I am drinking Grain Belt Light Blue.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have
a light version of that now.
They had a light version and an lemon version in a mixer pack. So,
oh god,
I know it's summer already. I could not say no.
I'm just glad you've graduated from Mike's Hard Lemonade, and
I have grown up. I have gotten past the shit beers. I'm drinking Minnesota's favorite. All right, what have you seen lately?
Well, first and foremost, I have to give another shout out this week to a buddy of mine, Ben Meyer, for making me watch a movie called Circle. Ben, I will take your gambling advice, but I will never take your movie advice ever again.
Uh-oh.
This was just fucking hot garbage.
Ooh.
It was a dumb movie. It was 50 strangers wake up and they're in some fucking room and they're all standing there or whatever, and like if anybody tries to leave, they get zapped and killed. And they figure out that they can control who's going to die next, and then it's just a social experiment to see who's racist and who's, prejudice and just whatever. And they start killing everybody off until they get down to whatever.
So was this like a Saw clone? Did Jigsaw make an appearance?
No.
Trademark?
No, it was literally just 50 people in a room with a fucking little ball in the center.
Did they film it on like their iPhone? Was it?
I mean, at the very end of the movie, you got out of the room.
Ooh.
And saw that there was other things happening in the world, but I mean, they talk about it pretty early on. They figure it out real quick. Yeah, they somehow figure out that they were all abducted by aliens.
Ooh, spoiler! God damn it! God damn it! Well, it's a movie I'll never watch. So, Aliens,
2015 garbage ass movie.
Nobody's heard of except you and your buddy.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice of you to take that hit.
Yeah. I mean, it's an idea for a movie. It's not even an idea for a movie. It's an idea for a scene of a movie. And then they stretched it out to be a 90-minute fucking bore fest.
So it sounds like a student film.
It's not even, they don't even do cool deaths. Like, it's all the same death, and most of them are off screen. They're just zapped.
They didn't have a budget for it.
Just zapped and then thud.
Where could you watch this glorious piece of shit?
It's on Netflix.
Okay. Oh, Netflix.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, I've got one that I teased last episode, and I didn't write about it because I couldn't find the motivation to write. So I'm going to talk about it quickly. Alien Private Eye. Watched it on Tubi. I
love that. Alien Private Eye.
Alien Private Eye. I think it was Italian. It was dubbed. The alien at the beginning who's our badass, is dressed like a 70s pimp. It's bad all around. The audio goes in and out. Sometimes you can't hear anything at all. It's true piece of trash. Yeah, find it on Tubi, watch it. It's a lot of fun. I can't say it's just shitty. It's just bad.
So not fun bad, just bad?
Great bad. I loved it.
Oh, okay.
I was laughing once the private eye shows up and what he's dressed as and why, because he's wearing this big pimp hat because he's hiding his alien ears, which look like really cheap elf ears. And it's got some of the worst sex scenes ever. It's just bad. It's
Okay.
I think it's like from like 1989, 1990. I mean, but it looks like it could have been made in like the 70s. I think my beer costs more than the budget of that movie.
Well, you have expensive taste, my friend.
I do. Grain Belt is not cheap. So.
Well, I watched a new release on Netflix called Choose or Die.
Ooh.
Or I think it also is called Cursor.
I like Cursor. That sounds like a really evil computer movie. With
a greater sign instead of the E.
The Cursor.
Anyways. Again, I mean, the gal in it, I think her name is Iola. It's Iola. So
I like it.
However you pronounce it. I'm going to call her Iola. Iola Evans was phenomenal in it, and I'm going to watch whatever she comes out with next. But for the movie itself, I mean, there were some cool death scenes. Outside of that, it was a pretty basic, horror movie. So the plot of this whole thing is that two friends, one of them's like a refurbisher for old games and systems and shit, and they come across an old game from the 80s with unclaimed prize money that's like $100,000, and I mean they're all poor, so they're just like, oh, let's see, there's 1 million of these games out there that have unclaimed prize money, let's see if we can win this. Well, the game like curses reality, and it's pretty interesting. Eddie Masson was pretty great in his short time on screen.
Who's that?
I never heard of him. You'd recognize him. Let's see.
He was that guy in that thing with that person.
You would recognize the face more than the person. He kind of looks like Tony Shalhoub. He was in like Ray Donovan. He was in the Sherlock Holmes movie. He was in The World's End. The little nerdy guy. Do you remember The World's End?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah, what was his name in that movie?
Tony Shalhoub.
Peter. Peter Page.
Peter Pumpkin Eater.
Yeah, he was the other short guy that wasn't Martin Freeman.
I think they're all short, except for Pierce. Sorry, spoiler alert. You should have watched the movie already.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, he was fun. He was pretty great in it for his 5 minutes on screen. Robert Englund gives his voice to the video game, so that was kind of cool. But I mean, he does nothing. So
it's Freddy. That's
Either
someone
way,
you put on the front of the box.
It's a fine Sunday afternoon if it's shitty outside and you just want to turn something on for 90 minutes.
A hangover movie.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just watch it for a couple of cool ideas. Otherwise, it's mostly skippable.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess I got to raise you on this one. I watched a movie from a recommendation from a friend named Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. He pointed out to me, he showed me a picture. He says, "Has you ever seen this before?" And I asked him if it was a real movie, and he said yes. And the movie is called Rocktober Blood. It is on Shudder. It is about this awesome hair metal band, I'd say late 70s, early 80s hair metal band. And their lead singer goes nuts, kills a whole bunch of people, and then he's killed. Well, they didn't kill him enough, and he ends up coming back to get his revenge on the rest of his band.
Is this like the Foo Fighters movie that just came out?
I haven't seen that yet, so maybe
Okay.
I could give a but yeah, this movie was great for its first 10 minutes and its last 10 minutes because the opening and closing song are awesome. The hair metal scream made me laugh. I text Jesse and said, "Yeah, I'm in. 3 minutes in, I'm good to go." So the rest of the movie didn't live up to it, but it's something goofy to check out.
Anybody of note?
No, everybody
No, okay.
was. I didn't recognize anybody. So
Okay. Huh.
mm-hmm.
So Rocktober Blood for
Rocktober Blood. It feels like it's something I
like,
should have waited for Halloween. It would have been a good Halloween movie.
Good Halloween movie or good hangover movie, like you said previously?
Probably not a movie to watch with your wife. She'll probably get pissed because you gotta have her watch something stupid. So I would say a late night movie when you're looking for something to watch.
Okay. But I won't,
because I know you've done that to me a few times. I can't find anything to watch.
Yeah, I just go back to the same shit all the time.
Tubi.
I also watched I guess I don't know how to describe this thing. It's called Dead Snow 2, Red versus Dead. I'm going to describe the plot of this slightly, and you're going to tell me that I either dreamt it or it was on crack, one of the two.
I still think it's a Halo movie from when you told me the title.
So without seeing the first one, I just jumped into the second one, and I'm glad I did, because in the first 10 minutes or so is just recapping what happened in the first movie for me. So I didn't need to watch the first one. So this guy is the sole survivor of the first movie, and it picks up with him escaping the end, and he's driving down the road or whatever, and the Nazi zombie general that was hunting him for the gold that they had. Yeah, they have Nazi treasure.
Nazi treasure.
Yeah, so he tried to return it, but he still had a gold coin, so they were still coming after him. He ended up getting bit in the first movie, so he lopped off his arm with a chainsaw.
What bit him?
One of the zombies.
Okay.
So he lopped off his arm to fight the infection and, survive. So he's armless, and he's the Nazi general is on the car that he is escaping in, and he collides with a semi, and it breaks off the Nazi general's arm and lands in the passenger seat of the car. Anyways, guy crashes the car, wakes up in the hospital. Doctors are like, "Good news, we found your arm and we reattached it." So he has the Nazi general's arm attached to himself.
Wow.
Yeah. Not only that, it has powers to bring back more zombies.
Fuck yeah.
This movie is actually pretty fucking great. I'm not going to lie. It's like Shaun of the Dead meets Evil Dead, Army of Darkness. I cannot express how bonkers some of these kills were. He had one guy that was the first guy that he brought back to life, was just like his little pet. And every time he'd die, he'd just bring him back in another way. So this guy would die, he'd take an axe to the face, and then he'd wake him back up, and he was just like in love with this guy. It was fucking great. Anyways.
So this doesn't sound like a movie for kids?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Just checking.
eventually they meet up with like Martin Starr and his group of zombie slayers that they call themselves, and they've actually never killed a zombie in their life. But anyways, there's some great comedy in it. There's some fantastic death scenes. It's a great watch. I couldn't believe that this was good.
How long is this movie?
About 100 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I won't tell you how it ends because you won't believe me. So, as if the shit that I said already wasn't crazy enough. Yeah, I just find it on Prime and watch it. You'll thank me later.
Yeah, I'm writing it down, so I will watch this. I got to check this out.
Yeah, you definitely should. But yeah, so Martin Starr is the only person of note that I knew. Everyone else was just kind of whatever.
Martin Starr, is he in
like Freaks and Geeks from back in the day? He's in like Party Down.
Okay.
He was in Silicon Valley.
Okay.
Recently.
So he's a comedian.
Yeah, Knocked Up, super bad. Yeah, he's always like kind of the stoner weird guy with big old glasses always.
Okay.
I don't know what else he was in that you'd recognize.
Well, it sounds like you've got some high praise for this movie, so
yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Go see it.
Yeah. And then give me all your hate on Twitter once you come back and say that it was stupid as fuck.
Please talk to Jordan.
Oh, Martin Starr's in all the Spider-Man movie, by the way. He's the guy that the debate team or whatever the hell they're on, Math League or the academic thing. He's the teacher that has all those kids.
Which Spider-Man is this?
All of them.
Okay. Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's in all of them. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
He's like the Alfred of that. Just the same dude.
Yeah. Well, like the new Spider-Man movies he's in. Anyways, so what else have you seen?
What else have I seen? I watched on Shudder, courtesy of Red Letter Media, on their Ghostbusters Half in the Bag episode. It's called The Stuff. It is directed by notorious Larry Cohen, who directed Maniac Cop. I'm not remembering, but yeah, he's an interesting director. This stars Michael Moriarty. It is about the world is overjoyed with this tasty dessert called The Stuff, which looks like a marshmallow-like substance, but actually it is a alien creation that causes people to go nuts. And then when they have to, when the stuff has to get out of the human bodies, it's pretty nuts. I was going into it expecting it to be a horror movie, but it's more of a social commentary about what's going on in the 80s. I think if I would have known that going in, a movie would have played differently for me because of expecting one thing, but it was goofy as fuck. The special effects were inventive. I know you asked me if it was like The Blob.
Yeah, just looking at the poster, it looks like it would have been The Blob-esque.
Yeah, the poster looks like the guy got a whole lot of cum on him. So
Jesus.
Yes. So yeah, it's crazy weird. It's only like 90 minutes long. So yeah, it's on Shudder as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any more? Because I got a long one. So
ooh, that's what she said. Whoa! I do. I have a terribly bad, awesome movie from one of my favorite bad movie director, Mr. David Pryor.
Hang on, what else has David Pryor done? I
Oh,
feel like
God,
I feel like I know the name.
he's done. Oh, let me bring it up. I was so excited to talk.
Sorry. Like,
Yeah,
was
one
that
of his
like
best
rapid
things.
fire?
He did the aerobicide, which we've
Yes,
talked about.
killer workout. It was
Killer
awesome.
workout. He's done Future Force with David Carradine, Deadly Prey with his son again. One of the great things is that 99 times out of 100, his son is usually in the movies with him, and his son is like the biggest dickhead in the movies, and it's just awesome. David Pryor is usually pretty well known for making really terrible looking Vietnam War movies. This one, he goes into the cop genre where Ted Pryor is with his sister, but at first it looks like he's shacking up with a younger broad played by the infamous Tracy Lords. Yes, yes.
Tracy Lords.
So he has a vision of a murder that may or may not have taken place. So he goes to the cops with it, and he goes to the crime scene, and the murder did take place. So he has a beyond drunk Jan Michael Vincent of Airwolf fame, and a way too old to be the police commissioner, Glenn Ford, who played Superman's dad in the 1978 Superman. So they think he's full of shit and that he is the actual killer. So he ends up getting help from a reporter played by Conan the Barbarian's girlfriend in the original Conan movie, Sandal Bergman.
Quite the stretch.
Oh, yeah, murders keep taking place. A whole lot of red herrings come. The great Randall Tex Cobb is Ted's buddy, who
Randall
is
Tex Cobb.
Yeah, he's always like the big goofy fucker. He's always got like it's like his hair got stuck in an electric socket. Yeah, so it's immediately obvious that none of this movie is going to make sense because I think it was making it up as it goes. Yeah, it's awesomely bad. It's really, really cheap. The subtitles on Tubi don't finish. They just say inaudible because the sound drops out when Glenn Ford, Randall Tex Cobb, and Jan Michael Vincent are talking.
Would Randall Tex Cobb beat JCVD in a street fight?
Oh, hell no. No way.
Are you
Even
sure?
though I don't think JCVD is an actual martial artist, I think JCVD would kick his ass with speed.
But wasn't Tex Cobb a professional boxer?
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he looks like he took way too many shots to the dome. I know I shouldn't laugh about Jan Michael Vincent, being drunk, but that was pretty much his forte in the 80s and 90s before he died. I mean, I am completely amazed that you get anything out of him because he just looks flushed, and like he wants to be somewhere else. Yeah, I laughed my ass off when this movie revealed its true self because it was so goddamn obvious, and the way that the line is said is gold. So yeah, the Raw Nerve on Tubi.
Raw Nerve. All right.
Raw Nerve. Raw.
Interesting. So you just had a Tubi marathon, huh?
Tubi. I had Tubi and Shudder. So yeah, I mixed it up this week. It wasn't just all Tubi. Love you, Tubi.
Yeah, I was all over the map today, or this week. This last 2 weeks. But now that I'm not watching fucking baseball movies, it's fine.
Teaser, we need to get around to that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
The baseball season is long, my friend.
Oh, yes.
Maybe we just postpone it until
October.
we get to the dog days where the only sport going on is fucking baseball.
And nobody wants to listen to us.
It won't be long now. The last movie that I want to talk about just came out on HBO Max. And yes, we are going to talk about The Batman.
The Batman.
If you haven't seen it yet, we will talk spoiler free first for a little bit, and then I will let you know before we start getting into spoilers. So
And if you haven't seen it yet, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't blame you. It's 3 hours. You got to have time to see it.
Make time. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. There you go. There's your tease.
I don't agree with you about it being good luck beating that. You know, you said that's the best movie of the year.
Yep.
I mean, we'll see. I'll see on Friday whether my movie is better or not.
You were going to do a double, but you are splitting it up. So one movie a day.
I have obligations that I am not going to be able to do the double, but I'm going to go back-to-back days. So The Massive Weight of Unbearable Talent on Friday and The Northman on Saturday.
That would be a fun double, though.
Yeah, it would be a bonkers double.
Hopefully one of them is good.
I can't carve out 5.5 hours at the movie theater.
No. Nope. No, that's pushing it.
Yeah.
I've done it, but... All right, so where do you want to start with The Batman?
So speaking spoiler free, start with what I liked.
What did you like?
I liked seeing Detective Batman. We haven't gotten a whole lot of his detective side, and this was kind of the first glimpse into it. Yeah, so I like Detective Batman, even though I don't understand how he can be the smartest man in a room full of detectives 1 minute and then the dumbest man in the next scene with, Selina or Alfred. It's just dense.
Because he's young and arrogant.
Is he, though?
Yeah.
I think he's just fucking stupid at points.
Well, like I told you, I think it's just that the movie presents everybody with their... I use the word sins, but I'm going to change it. Just everyone has their... Everyone is not 100% in that movie. They mess up in some way. Something has been presented to them that they make a choice on that they normally wouldn't do, because there's, I think, just so much pressure going on in Gotham with a certain character is trying to do the right thing, but certain things are being pushed in front of him. It's like, what would you do in that situation? So that's where I disagree with you. I think every it's more of a human sort of.
Well, I'll tell you what I would have done. I would have joined either Maroni or
going to party with the Penguin. Sorry, not Penguin.
What the fuck was Totoro's name?
Carmine. Carmine Falcone.
Carmine's gang.
Well, since you brought it up, I will say I love John Turturro in that movie.
I thought he was good. He was good.
Man,
Pattinson, I have it right here. Pattinson and Turturro were fine.
Yeah, I love John Turturro. He got to play the big heavy, which is...
Well, he was basically Joey Knish from Rounders.
He was Joe...
Right?
No.
He was smarter than everybody else, and he was, he didn't need to be mean about anything. He just had that presence.
I think he was a mean motherfucker, man. He just had other people do it for him.
He did it with his sunglasses on and a half-cocked smile.
It was it was Turturro getting to do Vito Corleone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I just call him Joey Knish and we're fine.
Joey Knish.
I'm
God,
glad
I
he
love
hit
that
it
movie.
big and stopped running trucks.
Keep on grinding those numbers out.
My next question I have is, why does anyone live in Gotham? I mean, the crime is absolutely absurd, and then the weather is absolute shit. Or at least it is in this movie. It's almost always raining.
Yes. It had one of the things that I'm sure I'm not the only one, but it had a lot of David Fincher 7 vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was dark, it was rainy.
But they went out in the day in 7. They almost never shot anything in the daytime.
Yeah, but it just looks sick too when in 7. But it was a nastier version of Gotham. Darker, much. I mean, Tim Burton's version is dark, but it's more in like a gothic sort of. This Gotham doesn't. You don't want to go down Main Street in this Gotham.
You don't want to go down any street in Gotham.
Nothing. That's the thing I liked about it. It was something that I was worried with the director. He did the last 2 Planet of the Apes movies, and those got dark.
Yeah.
So I was afraid that it was going to be dark like that, but he still did it. But it felt more like a Batman movie instead of how dark. It's hard for me to describe this, but yeah, it was dark, but I think it could have done more. Yeah, but I think the movie pushed the PG-13 enough, so I think if it had gone any darker, shown any more, I think it would have been an R-rated easy, but...
Yeah, I think they flirted with that PG-13 rating pretty good.
I'm still debating if I want to show my youngest boy, my 8, almost 9-year-old, the stuff with the Riddler is a little heavy for someone that age. So
I don't know if he's going to fully understand what's actually happening there, though. So I mean, you could show him that, I think.
Well, and it's the same thing I said to you about the Venom sequel. I think any movie that deals with a serial killer like that should be an R. I think if you're dealing with that sort of subject matter, there's no...
Well, as I recently got called out on Twitter, I mentioned that I was terrified of the Blob as a child. And the guy sent back a screenshot of part of the movie, and I said, yeah, that's what terrified me as a small child. Like, I should not have been watching it anyways, but I don't know. I'm fine.
I can take that. I can raise it. I was afraid of the Predator first time it shows itself in the jungle, and it's like all the special effect is not very good. But as like a 10-year-old, it's like, holy shit. But now watching it, it's like, what the fuck was I scared of?
Right.
But I go ahead.
You don't know. Oh, so
go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna do a little positive negative sandwich here.
Okay.
I thought Paul Dano's Riddler was fucking fantastic. We'll get more on him during our spoiler section, but just gonna keep it as that right now. I thought he was fucking great as the Riddler. Something that I did not like about the movie, there are absolutely no lights anywhere. Every single house, every single crime scene, they're using flashlights or candle lights. Why is there no fucking electricity in Gotham? I don't understand.
That's what was making me wonder is, I know it's supposed to be present day, but
they're reading goddamn books on the shelf using fucking flashlights.
Yeah.
Like, turn on a damn fluorescent light.
Maybe Gotham can't pay its electrical bill.
Yeah, apparently. I thought Wayne could throw around some of his billions and get the power grid back on.
He's too busy kicking ass. What did you think of Andy Serkis as Alfred?
Oh, I want more circus.
Yeah.
He was only in like 5 minutes of the movie.
I thought he was the heart of the movie when he was in it. It was, I mean, it's Alfred, but it was more.
Yeah, I have more to say in spoilers, so
It felt more like a dad relationship than compared to like a grandfather sort of.
right.
Yeah.
I'll
Do you
let
want to
you
go
know.
into spoilers?
Not yet.
Okay.
So, I thought Jeffrey Wright, who I absolutely love, was basically robotic as Commissioner Gordon. Well, not quite Commissioner yet.
Yeah, he was lieutenant.
Yeah, as Gordon, I thought he was just robotic, and it was awful. I thought the performance he gave was just awful. So I was very disappointed with that.
I like Jeffrey Wright in it. I didn't really think about it. I like him as an actor. I thought he was it wasn't showy. Again, the Seven reference. It felt like the Morgan Freeman role.
Right.
The mentor next to the volatile Batman or your Brad Pitt character, your hothead. So
The problem though is that he was just monotone and he was. It's like he was just reading his lines, like, and just waiting. He always had the next thing ready to say. Like there was no like real dialogue going on there. It was just, you know, I know it's a movie and it's acting, but my God, it was just so. I can't say another word about it other than robotic.
interesting.
Yeah, like there was no hesitation with in between lines or nothing, just straight up my next line, my next line. And it was just I thought it was bad. And I hate it because I love Jeffrey Wright. Like he was my favorite thing in Westworld.
Yeah, he usually brings class to whatever he's in. So
Exactly. So, and then lastly, for spoiler free, is I loved Colin Farrell. I thought he was fucking awesome. Thought he was unrecognizable as Penguin.
Yes.
The only problem with it is I really don't understand why he was called the Penguin in this. Like, he didn't have any characteristics of a penguin. It wasn't just a nickname, was it? Like, I just don't understand.
That's what I think it was. It was just a nickname, but they never said there was no. It just came out. I know he was being called Oz a lot.
Well, I mean, his name's Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, Oz is the nickname I'd go to, not fucking Penguin.
I guess I didn't pay attention to match who he looks like in real life.
Right.
So
no,
yeah,
he was great.
Yeah, him and Paul Dano were on another planet. I thought they were doing other stuff. So
all right. So if you haven't seen the Batman yet, you might want to just skip ahead for, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, maybe.
Maybe just go watch it, come back in 3 hours.
We are going to talk spoilers.
3, 2, 1. Spoiler territory.
We warned you.
Warned.
Why the fuck was Alfred a nothing character?
That bothered me too, because he kind of...
They just used him as a tool. They used him as the Rachel Dawes to get an emotional response out of Batman.
That part did bother me too. I was expecting him to, kind of make an appearance since he did have that moment with Bruce Wayne.
Right. He was the heart of the fucking movie.
Yeah. I that's probably one of my few nitpicks is I didn't like... it would have been nice to just have something, but I don't think... I mean, I don't know if it's they had so much going on with Batman, Penguin, Catwoman, all the other characters that they kind of just pushed him off to the side, that we know he's okay in that hospital room, that we didn't need another scene, but I think it would have been nice to have that.
Or just him tending to Bruce at any point in the manor.
Yeah.
You always get that shot where, Alfred's taking care of him. We didn't get that in this movie.
He helped him out. He was there.
When they talked, that's it. Like, there was no, like, butlering going on. There was no.
Well, they told him he had fresh berries.
Get the fuck out of
when
here.
He came down, when Bruce showed up like he was fucking hungover, it put the damn sunglasses on.
What the fuck is up with Virgin Batman, by the way?
Virgin?
Yeah, you could clearly they talk about it extensively, how he's a recluse and he's the only other person that doesn't come out as much as, Falcone. So obviously he's not going out and meeting people. His kiss with Selena Kyle was just like the first time he'd ever kissed anybody in his life.
Well, do you know who they based the idea of Bruce Wayne on?
Who?
Kurt Cobain. So it was Kurt Cobain's just not wanting any of the fame, wanting to just get away and do his own thing.
Just emo Batman.
Emo Batman, where he's in a hole, just doing his superhero thing, beating the fuck out of people.
That brings me to another point that I hated, in that why didn't anyone even try to shoot him in the head? They're firing round after round after round, just ricocheting off his body armor.
I think you're asking the question of so many action movies.
It's true.
Quit talking. Just shoot him in the head.
Just shoot him. Like,
the fucking movie would be over if you shot him in the head.
Well, show that his cowl is bulletproof or something. But my God, just so many bad guys firing automatic weapons, and not a single one got him from the neck up.
If one of them, you would not have a movie.
I know. I get
Fast
it.
and the Furious movies would end after the first 10 minutes if one of the crew died.
Oh, they just get another one. It's family. They just recruit more family.
More family. All right. So I know we haven't talked about this. We've been going off everything else since you saw the movie. What did you think of Pattinson in the dual role? Which one did you think he did better at?
I think he did a better gritty Batman than he did as Bruce Wayne. I think the emo whiny Batman just didn't do it for me, or the emo Bruce Wayne just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I kind of miss the Playboy Batman. The duality thing, but bought into it because it was doing something else, where this version of Bruce Wayne is hell-bent. He's hurt. He just doesn't. The only thing he has is putting on the mask and going home to Alfred, which, isn't so bad, but
I did appreciate him talking normal and not fucking talking with his whatever Christian Bale was doing.
Yes. Yeah,
Holy shit.
That showed up to me a lot more in the second time I watched it, that there wasn't much change between his voices, which was so refreshing, because so many jokes have been made about that Christian Bale. I'm Batman.
I mean, he played it, kind of a vulnerable Batman. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't just this hardened badass that was just going to whoop your ass like it seemed. I mean, he did, but I mean,
I love that when
he just had a look to him that said, I could be beaten.
I love it that it takes a fucking drug, adrenaline, whatever the hell he put into himself.
Oh yeah, that was.
I scoffed at that a little bit, but and what happens after that when he just pummels the fuck. It's like, never seen that in a Batman movie. He damn near killed the guy.
But how did he not? I mean, they've shown how
His
powerful
punch is
one
a hammer in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. And then he hit him 15 times.
Yeah.
Like, how is that guy alive?
Yeah, on adrenaline, on speed. Yeah, he's just beating the holy fuck out of him.
Right.
Like, holy shit. Yeah, I'm curious to see where the movie will stand at the end of the year. Usually when I say something like this, I mean it. I know you said that you were waiting for more to kind of just set in. Do you think you'll watch it again, or are you done for?
I mean, I'll see it again. I'm not rushing to see it again this week or, next week or anything. I'm sure I'll sit down and watch it again at some point.
See, I was thinking about this when we were talking back and forth when you said you had watched it. I love this movie. I love this version of it, but it doesn't feel the same as The Dark Knight, even though Dark Knight is a far more messier movie, and I have more problems with its third act. But just the Dark Knight feels like a raw nerve when Heath gets into it. It just goes to a different sort of level. The $1 million question is, would the movie be the same if Heath Ledger was in it? Probably not.
Well, and I thought Dano, when he was going off on his, doing his videos, showing the, Thomas Wayne and all that shit as he's doing the voiceover work on those videos. I thought that was, on par with what Ledger was doing.
Yeah, it felt the same, but it felt scarier. The Heath Ledger stuff, just nuts. But yeah, it felt in that same sort of vein where it was like, okay, this feels different. Something's different.
The difference was Ledger was doing it on screen with, himself, where Dano was just doing it as a voice, really.
Yeah. I guess the thing I always notice with the Batman movies is that the villains get...
Oh, they're the stars of the movie.
The villains are the stars of the movie, and it's
always
all unfortunate. But I think Michael Keaton overcame it. Christian Bale overcame it. I will say less about Batfleck. But
I'm skipping all of those.
It's an unfortunate thing with it is that unfortunately the villains sell the movie. If you have a bland villain, your movie's going to suck. So
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the villain is always taking the cake in this. Like Jack Nicholson was fucking great
as Joker. Yeah.
Heath Ledger was phenomenal as Joker.
I mean, you had look at all your villains that you have. You have Catwoman, you have Penguin, Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones.
You got Poison Ivy.
Yeah, Arnold with his puns.
Bane still hasn't been done right.
I think Tom Hardy did it better than Batman and Robin.
Oh, really? Do you think so?
God.
I was wondering what would break first. Your body or your spirit?
You do that well.
Thank you. No one ever tells me that.
I think you do it well. I'll kind of put a bow on this.
I'm not done yet, sir.
Okay. So. So something that came up, and I had thought about it after I had watched the movie the second time, is the first time I watched a movie, it just hits you in that moment where, okay, when you really like a movie, you're gushing about it and all that. Okay, I want to watch it again. I want to see how it holds up. For me, the movie, the second time, it felt more emotional. I did not cry, but it knowing where the movie was going, I didn't, you don't have to have that worry like towards the end of The Dark Knight Rises with,
Ugh.
Robin and all that. But the second time the movie played more emotional for me and was able to take in more, see more, all that stuff. So, and I really like how really the movie is about everyone with parent problems.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not just Batman.
Nobody's a good person in Gotham.
Except Jim Gordon. And I think the only thing that Jim Gordon didn't do is he doesn't push enough for...
arguably, Alfred's the best person in Gotham.
Yeah, well, it'd be a good fight between Alfred and Jim Gordon.
I mean, Alfred raised this kid as if it was his own.
Yeah. His best friend's son. Yeah, there's two good people in Gotham. The rest of them are fucking damaged.
Yeah.
And they need to pay their light bill.
Another problem I had was that the goddamn cops, every time Batman's at a crime scene, hey, what are you doing here? It's like, motherfucker, he's been at every goddamn crime scene. There's a goddamn note addressed to Batman at every scene. Like, he should be there. Why is it every single time he shows up? Hey, get out of here. Fucking Christ. Martinez was the worst at it. You know, the last time when they were talking about the carpenter tool.
Yeah.
He starts the whole thing. Hey, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. And then, like, 2 seconds later, he's opening a vein to him about, oh, yeah, my father was a carpenter. He knew all about... Just going on and on and on. Like, he's his best friend drunk at a bar. Yeah. Like, who the fuck are you? Are you this guy that says, what are you doing here? Or are you just, this other guy?
That's a little nitpicky thing for me too. I mean, I like all that stuff in the Batman movies where the cops and the people don't trust because it has to be earned.
He was literally the only one solving these things.
Yes, he was helping them out, but they're pissed off because he's not one of them.
Yeah, they'd say it out loud, and then they'd say, "What the fuck does that mean?" Yeah. And then he's just,
it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go start a fight with this guy in this fucking high tech?
Right.
I don't think you're gonna win.
Yeah. Basically, the only person that should be at these fucking crime scenes was the Batman.
Yeah.
He didn't need all the cops.
Just send the cops to go do something else. Let Batman do his thing. He wants to play with their dead bodies.
I thought Dano was fantastic again, but he was only great as the Riddler the last hour when they unmask him. It just strips away everything that he had earned in the first 2 hours.
Oh, his face was gone. He was so good when he took that mask off.
I don't believe it for 1 second.
He was on a different orbit.
They made him do the fucking YouTuber, hey guys, waving at the camera to start his fucking vlog even. That is worse. That is worse than Leatherface being live streamed.
He's a weird kid who's being accepted. He was happy. He was sick, kind of happy.
Ugh.
I love Paul Dano. All right. So if we're going to talk about, do we talk about the ending?
Yeah, I'm going to. So
okay.
I could have done without the Joker in the cell next to him.
Yeah, I could have done
without. Really could have done without it.
It could have just ended with Batman and Catwoman going on their separate ways.
Yeah, they don't need to set up the next movie. They could have just... This is what I have written down, actually. They could have ended it all nice and sweet with the two of them riding their bikes together, all super cute and cuddly, and then going their separate ways.
Yeah. It's that whole franchise world building. Hey, we gotta give you I think it's really hasn't. It's the only time it started was with Batman Begins. I don't remember the earlier ones doing that, but Batman Begins had the card.
Yeah.
Dark Knight was nice because it was just him getting the fuck out of there.
Yeah. that was nice. I like the end of that
But
one.
yeah, that's the thing with all these superhero movies now, all these tent poles. It's got to build something. It needs to be something more. It can't just, because your people will go, "Oh my god, they didn't." Like if there was, did you watch through the credits, or did you know at the end of the credits?
So I had already seen the 5-minute scene that was cut.
No, I'm not talking about that. You know how at the end of the movies, there you do the mid-credit scene and then you do the end credits?
Sure.
Watching it in the theater, everyone who stayed in there, we were waiting for the stinger at the end, and it came up with the Riddler's type. It just said goodbye.
Well, so I read about this and how it went. It did that, and then it sent you to a website. It sent you to the actual website that he was using in the movie.
Okay.
For a little while, and then you had to solve. There was like 3 riddles that you had to type in.
Yeah,
and it would unlock the next thing, and then that sent you to the next page. And then the next page sent you to another page where then you got the 5-minute trailer or the deleted scene of
with the Joker.
Batman talking to Joker, yeah.
Very strange what he looks like.
I think he looks fucking great. I think he looks more like the Arkham Asylum video game Joker.
Yeah, they are going different. I don't know. I have like Dick Tracy sort of like dream nightmares. You know how the makeup in Dick Tracy was very, very exaggerated. It seems like they're going big for the Joker, which really they don't have a whole lot else they can do. They've done everything else. I mean, you've even made him look like a punk rocker with Jared Leto's.
I really hope that if they do another movie, which I guarantee they will, I hope they don't use Joker in the next one.
Yes.
Like, there's so many damn villains that they can use. Like, we haven't even seen, Hush. We haven't seen Black Mask. We haven't seen Clayface.
Mr. Freeze.
I mean, we could get Killer Croc. I mean,
Bane.
There's so many. Bane done right.
Bane done right.
I mean, even I don't really want to see Scarecrow again, but Scarecrow could be cool.
As long as it's Cillian Murphy. I liked him as Scarecrow.
I loved him as Scarecrow, but I don't think I need to see it again. So that's the problem. But anyways, yeah, that's all I got on the Batman. Sorry, that was a whole big thing.
Well, you said it would be big, so you didn't let us down.
You can all come back now.
Come back.
We're done talking about it.
Hopefully it's been 3 hours. And now for the main event.
God damn.
I know.
Hot every time.
Hot, hard, sexy.
Wow.
We are coming in. I'll let you describe it. This is your game.
As Dewey Cox would say, my back door.
Ew. We are playing a little game of recasting. I talked Jordan into doing...
Yeah.
I know.
I did not want to do this. You wanted to do this.
I know, but it's fun. I told Jordan we should do John Woo's first 3 American movies. And then he went, "Okay, that sounds like it could be fun."
Yeah.
So we are doing.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Wish we could make so many casts of these movies. So we're doing Hard Target, 1993, with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
We're going to do it between the 80s and 90s.
And the 90s. And then we're going to do Broken Arrow, which we're doing through the 90s through the 2000s. And then we're going to top it off with the greatest of all, Face Off. We're going to do it from the 70s and the 80s. We are going to choose 5 of the main cast members, and we're going to choose a new director. Are you ready?
I mean, first, I just want to say I love John Woo.
Me too.
We're not doing this because we hate John Woo movies. We're doing this because it's fun, I guess.
Fun. It's fun to have fun with just mixing up and, you know, coming up with crazy ideas for who can be in these movies. And I know you've talked about one of your movies being a lot of fun, but I changed around one of these movies completely. So
I have lists of ones that I did that I'm not even going to use.
So yeah, that's the fun that we have in this. You know, oh, this, you know, he should have been in this and that. So yeah, fuck you all if you don't like it.
I still don't know who I want to put as my main heavy in Hard Target. So
mine. I love my.
Because as we were talking, I thought of a new one. So.
Oh, you still have time. I'll go first. That'll give you time. All right.
Start with the director. Who's going to
start with the director? Since it's in the 80s and 90s, I am making the biggest goddamn awesomest action movie imaginable. I am choosing the man, the myth, the legend, James Cameron, as my director.
James Cameron directing Hard Target.
Oh yeah. So do you want me to start from the lesser character all the way up to the main,
I just have a hard time picturing James Cameron telling anybody, pick up that rattlesnake and punch it.
Oh God, yes. Oh God, yes. All right, so my chance, my main star, who was supposed to be Jean-Claude Van Damme, I am changing him with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh boy, it got very large.
Oh yeah. So
how is Arnold
one, the baddie, Emil? Good.
How is Arnold going to be roundhouse kicking motherfuckers on the streets?
How's he going to be standing on a motorcycle? Is my.
I need your boots, your sunglasses, your boots.
Could you imagine Arnold with that awesome mullet?
Oh my God! Yes, please.
The Conan the Barbarian hair.
Oh, I don't know if you saw that on Twitter the other day, but somebody said, name something that made you smile today, and I said Jean-Claude Van Damme's hair in the movie Hard Target.
If you haven't seen any of these movies, shame on you. Face Off is a masterpiece of insanity. Hard Target is a very, very well done B movie that was ruined by censors, and Broken Arrow might have one of the best duos in John Travolta and Christian Slater. So, and all 3 of these movies are fun in their different ways. So shame on you if you haven't seen these movies. All right. So anyway,
to recap, you have James Cameron directing Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I have Arnold Schwarzenegger as my lead, Chance. I have Rutger Hauer in the Lance Hendrickson role of Emil.
Ooh, God damn, that's a good pick.
Oh yeah. So since now this is what I told you before, that the pick Van Cleef would be a cheat on mine because this is my movie and fuck everyone.
Okay.
I am choosing Sylvester Stallone.
Oh.
To be the henchman.
Your pick Van Cleef, your number one.
My pick Van Cleef is going to be Sly Stallone. To keep the Terminator connection going, I am going to have Linda Hamilton as my Natasha, because Natasha
Linda Hamilton. You were just doing fucking Terminator right now.
Wait till I get to my last one. I think Linda Hamilton is one of the best badass characters. The Natasha character, not so much of a badass. So like I said, I'm turning this into the greatest action movie of all time. And my Uncle Duvee, who was played by the late great Wilford Brimley, is going to be played by none other than Christopher Walken.
I'm
Oh
glad
yeah.
I'm glad I crossed him off. He was in my movie at one point.
Oh God, I had the hardest time with Uncle Dewey trying to, because the character isn't in it very long, but he makes an impression. Wilford Brimley with a deep, deep Bayou accent.
So I'm still looking at something quick. Was Rutger Hauer was he the main bad guy in Invasion USA?
No,
Who the
no,
fuck
no, no.
was that?
Bring it up. I think it was. No, the
Did he
face.
look like Rutger Hauer?
A little bit.
Okay, maybe that's why I'm getting him confused.
Richard Lynch, the amazing Richard Lynch, the master of sleazeball movies.
Okay. All right. Well,
Come on,
anyways,
do it. Do it.
so I have to try to top your hard target.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to because I've changed so much shit. All right. So my director is going to be John McTiernan. Not any John McTiernan. We're doing Last Action Hero John McTiernan.
Ooh, so it's going to be meta.
Yes. My chance character, my lead is Wesley Snipes.
Ooh.
We're doing Streets of Gold Wesley Snipes.
Streets of Gold.
Yeah, you've never seen Streets of Gold?
No.
Oh, you should.
There's another one I'll watch.
He's quite great.
Is that newer? Is that older?
Oh, that's old. That's
Okay.
like one of his first movies ever.
Okay. I've never heard of it, so okay.
I think it was like his second or third movie.
Okay.
But
you have me interested. Where's that on?
Okay.
All right, keep going with yours. I'll look it up.
I have no idea where I could find that, I don't even know if it's streaming. I saw it when I was 12, maybe. So, anyways, I'm going old school Wesley Snipes. He fits the martial arts. He's also got that badass aesthetic. It's basically Major League era Snipes. So not as big as yours, but so he gets the job done. You don't need to be huge if you're roundhousing motherfuckers in the chin. My Lance Henriksen, I'm still not sure yet. Right now I have it as Vernon Wells from Commando.
Like that. I do like that. He's a good bad guy.
He's really good at the overacting, and he's a big fucking mean bastard. So, yep. And I need a big guy to contain his number one, his number two, I should say. My Peak Van Cleef is going to be none other than Reb Brown from Space Mutiny and Strike Commando.
Oh God, Reb Brown should be your chance.
No, he's going against Snipes.
Roundhouse kick and
Now, hear me out here. The guy I was thinking about switching Vernon Wells out with was Robert Zadar.
Ooh.
As my main baddie.
Oh my God, that would have been so much sleaze. You'd had Robert Zedone, Reb Brown, if you had Richard Lynch in there still.
But I got Wesley Snipes, good overcoming evil. So
definitely.
And my Yancey Butler, my Nat, my Natasha. Somebody that can hold her own while still being pretty and brings a little class to the film, Diane Lane.
I like it.
Going Streets of Fire, Diane Lane. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I'm a huge Diane Lane fan.
Yeah. So what do you think so far?
I like Diane Lane as a Natasha.
Because I'm about to ruin it.
Who is your Uncle Dewey?
My Uncle Dewey was originally going to be Corbin. I don't know if you've ever seen The Ranch on Netflix. He was anyways, he fit the bill, like, shorter, pudgy, cowboy kind of esque.
Okay.
But I went a different direction with Uncle Doovie, and I went with Fatal Beauties Sam Elliott.
I can't see that, but it's your movie, so I have to accept it.
Well, I mean,
it's
think
like
about it,
it's
though.
like Christopher Walken being my Uncle Doovie. Yeah,
He's just got to be a drunkard down in the bayou making moonshine. Sam Elliott
moonshine.
can do that. He's already got the mustache and the cowboy hat, so
Well, if he's Roadhouse Sam Elliott, then
exactly.
yeah. You know what? I'll give it to you.
But anyways, yeah. So I like my Wesley Snipes, and that's about it.
Yeah, I like my Rutger Hauer as a
that's a great bad guy.
over the top, perfect bad guy for the 80s. Yeah, Rutger Hauer.
Now,
Now it
if we
took a
can
while
just-
for me to think of that too. Which
If we can just combine our two, I think we got gold here.
maybe Arnold can be Uncle Doovie.
All right. Let's move on to Broken Arrow.
All right, Broken Arrow. You start.
You want me to start? All right.
You're gonna start.
So I just rewatched all of these in the same day, by the way.
We might have watched Broken Arrow at the same time.
Yeah, probably. I'm still crossing people out on my list. Originally I had Rennie Harlan gonna do this, and I changed it once I saw all the Baygasms in this movie. So I have Michael Bay.
Ooh, it's gonna direct the shit out of those explosions.
Bad Boys Michael Bay. Yeah. So I'm gonna give you two movies at the same time here.
Okay.
Because it's Michael Bay and because he's a sleazeball,
Oh,
I had to have the prettiest cast imaginable. So I came up with Rob Lowe as my Deke, as my John Travolta, my Tommy Boy's Rob Lowe.
Ooh, boy. So you got Creeper, Bad Boy, Rob Lowe. Okay.
Yep. And he's getting bested by Speed's Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
Right?
Interesting.
And my Rob Lowe is being flanked by none other than Jesse the Body Ventura from Demolition Man.
I thought about putting him in one of these, but
I just put him as my heavy because why not?
Well, if Howie Long can do it, I mean,
right?
The Body did it before,
right? And then I went with Siege 2's Morris Chestnut as my Delroy Lindo character.
Ricky!
And again, because it's Michael Bay, I went with Alicia Silverstone so she didn't have to do fucking Batman, and she got her action movie still. But I want to throw this movie at you. So it's still Michael Bay.
Okay.
But I'm changing the two main stars here.
Okay.
And my female.
Okay.
So I want to give you Charlie Sheen from The Chase as Deke.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Riley Hale. That would have been. Okay.
No, because I have one better for Riley Hale, and it's Emilio Estevez. Mission Impossible's Emilio Estevez.
I want that. I like that combo.
And then, so because I crossed off Alicia Silverstone, I added Romeo and Juliet's Claire Danes.
I don't know if she could play a park ranger, but I'd be okay watching it.
Why not?
Could she look good in the brown pants?
Of course. That's the whole reason why she's being cast, because it's Michael Bay.
It's going to be tight.
She's going to
barely
be sweaty,
there.
or it's going to be sweaty and a whole bunch of ass shots.
Yeah, a whole bunch of bending over, whatever. So I thought a title for your Broken Arrow. You
Yeah.
can call it Men at Work Part 2.
Okay.
Men at Work for real this time.
All right. So to recap, my real movie: Rob Lowe, Keanu Reeves, Jesse Ventura, Morris Chestnut, and Claire Danes.
Okay. I like your other one better.
I feel with Emilio and Charlie.
So much coke.
That's coming. That's the main event here. Also, in every single one of these versions, the Haley character is played by Cable Guy's Matthew Broderick. There's no way around that character. He looks just like him already.
I know you had said that, and I had forgotten to get somebody as a Frank Whaley. So
he looks. You can just steal mine. It's fine. He looks like him. He's in it. I mean, he's basically the John Cusack character from Con Air.
Oh, that'd be a fun one to recast.
Oh, I'm not touching Con Air. That movie's perfect.
That's what you say now.
Well, that's what I said about Face Off too, and then you said let's do the 70s, and I
Let's
said,
do the Face
yeah,
Off.
I'm in.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything for what we had initially had picked out. So, all right. So my Broken Arrow. So I said I had changed it. You're going to know exactly where this is going. So I chose Spike Lee as my director.
Perfect.
I'm going to be something different here. My Vic Deakins, because we know he can play a bad guy, is going to be Denzel Washington.
Okay.
My Riley Hale is going to be a little bit tougher, a little more attitude. It's going to be Wesley Snipes.
He's too badass. He's not losing the boxing match at the beginning of the movie.
That's where I think my I like my. It's going to be a hell of a war, is what it's going to be. I don't know if Denzel can pull off all the damn lines, but fuck it. So
ain't it cool?
My Kelly was initially going to be played by. I had written this down initially as Danny Trejo because I wanted him in something. But with where I changed this, I have chosen Michael Jai White as my Kelly, as my heavy.
I can see this now. This is like Never Back Down 2, the beatdown.
For Terry, when I came up with this, the only female actress I could think of was Nia Long. Because she was like in everything in the 90s. So
I don't know who that is. I'd have
Nia
to
Long.
look her
She
up.
was in Friday. She was in Boys in the Hood. You would know her if you saw her. And then my Colonel Max Williams, because we're replacing Delroy Lindo, I had to have something like him. Classy actor. I went with Forrest Whitaker.
Oh, I had Forrest Whitaker and I crossed him out.
I know you had said that. So I said, he's mine. So, yeah.
What was Forrest Whitaker doing at that time?
This time he was making Species.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he can be in this instead.
Oh, yeah. But he would get killed by Natasha Henstridge.
Yeah, that's fine.
Naked Natasha.
That's a little bit better.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's
how was she not in this movie? That would have been a great pick for the park ranger.
She would have been great in Hard Target, too, as Natasha.
Natasha
played Natasha.
The problem is she's too badass for these roles.
Mm-hmm. Yes. She is. Just like a Charlize Theron. It's just an automatic. You know she's tough. I think it's 1-1. I'm thinking with the score.
I'm giving you the Broken Arrow one for sure.
Well, I was giving you Broken Arrow. I was giving myself Hard Target. So
I was giving myself Hard Target.
Ooh, fight.
I have Vernon Wells and Reb Brown, for fuck's sake. Okay, fine. I had Wesley Snipes and Diane Lane. I'm good. I like my movie.
I think this Face Off is going to crown a champion here.
All right, I'm nervous to let you go first because
I'm going first.
I don't want you to steal my thunder.
That's what I'm afraid of, because you said cocaine.
Oh,
I decided to go back to cocaine. So
there is so much cocaine in my movie that Scarface would be blushing.
all right. So because it's in the 70s, 80s, I'm going with Sidney Lumet. I want a gritty as fuck face off. So I'm going big time. So I keep having problems when I'm thinking of who's playing Castor and what they would have to play when they do the flip side, when they have to turn into the other one. So I said, fuck it, I'm just going to stick with this. So my villain, Castor Troy, is going to be played by the great Jack Nicholson.
Oh, that's just fun.
Mm-hmm. So my Sean Archer, I need somebody who could play, again, the good guy, the bad guy. I'm going with my Michael Caine.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I feel like there's like a foot discrepancy in height there, though. Like,
yeah, we're gonna need like Tom Cruise shoes here.
He's gonna be putting boots on for sure.
Sean's wife, played by Joan Allen, had to go with that same type of actress. I went with Diane Keaton. Because I think she's kind of got that same stuffy mom attitude. This is where my cocaine is going to go nuts. For Castor's brother, Pollux Troy, I'm going with the great Dennis Hopper.
Holy shit. Okay.
So much cocaine there.
Yeah.
So Castor, Pollux, best friends in real life. They're brothers in the movie. Sean's daughter, I had a hard time thinking of somebody who could be kind of like an attitude badass. So I went with Jodie Foster because of who she is in Taxi Driver.
Yeah. How old is she at this point? I mean,
16.
We're talking like late 80s or late 70s.
She's got to be 16, somewhere around there.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's I like your movie. I think it's going to be a good movie. That's the problem. Like, I want to watch yours, but I want to watch mine for the insanity that's going to ensue here.
All right. I've been waiting for this. All right. Go ahead. Hit me.
Okay. So I am going to have Mission Impossible's Brian De Palma directing the shit out of this cocaine-filled movie. My Castor Troy is going to be none other than Gary Busey. So now I got to match Gary Busey's energy, right? With the Sean Archer. So I am going with North Dallas 40's Nick Nolte. So I'm going Nick Nolte versus Gary Busey, and who can do more coke?
I'm already sold.
Good. I'm glad. So here's where I'm going to change the order up here.
Okay.
I'm going to give you Sean's daughter.
Okay.
I'm going 1980. The Hollywood Knights, Michelle Pfeiffer. She's just about, I think she's 18, 19 at that point, so she can play, 16.
Not quite a badass, but I like her.
Not quite, but she's pretending to be a badass.
And she's a good actress.
Right. I mean, she doesn't need to do much, but then you have to find somebody that would be hot enough to give birth to Michelle Pfeiffer to be Mrs. Archer, right?
Okay.
So I went with Hair's Beverly D'Angelo.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, so I got Nick Nolte and Beverly D'Angelo together. But this is where I'm cheating.
Okay.
You cheated earlier, so I'm going to cheat just a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to skip ahead a few years.
Okay.
Because I need, for my Pollux Troy, I need Tough Turf's Robert Downey Jr.
So Gary Busey and young RDJ
Together.
are brothers?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
We have taken over Colombia.
So much cocaine.
Yeah, and Brian De Palma's not reining it in either.
He's going full Scarface.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. So did I live up to the hype? Because I know I talked
You did.
about
I was
it.
not expecting a Gary Busey as any on this.
But think about it, though. Think about how crazy that actor's got to be to do the things that Nick Cage was doing. I mean, they fucking they give him a haircut as they're taking his face off.
Gary Busey would probably actually have his face actually taken off.
Yeah,
do it for real.
probably. So, did you know that the screenwriter, one of the screenwriters for this movie, had got this idea when his friend or buddy got in a hang gliding accident and had to actually do a skin graft to his face?
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's where this guy sprung with this cast or with this idea.
Comes from the weirdest ideas. All right, so
Yeah.
I told you that I was having difficulties. My initial Sean Archer was going to be Robert De Niro.
Okay.
And then when you told me cocaine, I decided I was going to try and class it up. I was almost going to go with Paul Newman and Robert Redford as, yeah. So yeah, Paul Newman would have been my Castor Troy, and Redford would have been my Sean Archer.
All right.
I had Gene Hackman in here too. I was going to pair him and Pacino up.
Whew.
And then I couldn't. I only got the two leads. I was going to try and pair up Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. Because, fuck yeah, that would have been badass. But
Sure,
I
and
did
then
not.
and then Jet Li could have been Pollux.
Could have. I actually had Sonny Chiba as as Pollux. So yeah, you won face off.
Well, this whole thing started with you knew Arnold and Sly were originally set to star in this movie, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the whole reason for us redoing Face Off. Because of that. And then something that I noticed watching it yesterday, I didn't realize that Danny Masterson was the dude that was sexually assaulting Dominic Swain.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Quite the precursor for real life, huh?
Didn't he get the didn't he get his nose thing ripped out, or trying to remember what?
I just know that Travolta beat his ass quick.
Travolta beat his ass, and then he had the conversation with dress up like Halloween and ghouls will try to get in your pants.
Yeah, and then the whole butterfly knife thing.
Whole butterfly, the best parenting advice ever.
Yeah.
When you put it in, twist it so the wound won't close.
Except next time, make sure that he gets his pants off first.
Papa's got a brand new bag. Peaches.
God, this movie's crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah, I like the challenge of this one because the cast it's just...
It's so nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts, and it's hard to think of anybody outside of those roles, so it's fun when you go, okay, now I got to think of, okay, initially a good guy, okay, now you got to be a bad guy, vice versa.
Oh, and yeah, the two actors, you could tell, were just having so much fun trying to out crazy the other.
Wow, that must have been some fun prep when the two of them were just hanging out with each other, learning their mannerisms and tics.
Right.
Yeah. I'd have loved to have been a fly on the wall.
Like even the line, this chin. Travolta's like, is that a shot at me? And then he's like, no, just think. I mean, Castor wouldn't have been happy with anybody else's face. So...
Oh God, we could go so much deeper into this, but I think we got in trouble when we were doing all of it last night. So, yeah.
Well, there's so many things about this movie that I just don't understand. Like, how is that guy not being guarded? Or how is he not in a chemically induced coma the whole time that he's got his face off on the table?
We don't ask.
And I mean, the phone call alone when he's like, "You got to come get me," and then he just starts laughing when he realized what happened. You don't wake up and see someone else's face in a fucking room across from you and be like, "Oh, yeah, this is totally normal. I'm fine. I'm just gonna have a cigarette." And then I'm gonna watch the procedure because they fucking filmed it, and then he's just sitting there watching it when they bring the doctor in.
I want to be Nick Cassavetes and just probably didn't pretend to be that high at the party. No more drugs for that guy. Oh,
Right.
and then die. Yeah, we should have recasted him and Gina Gershon. That would have been.
I don't think Gershon was in it enough.
No, she was to give all the stuff with the boy.
Yeah, and how crazy is that though? That he's just gonna adopt his arch enemy's fucking son into his family.
He's the greatest soul.
I mean, I get the whole thing with him, losing his son and then gonna take this one that the other guy didn't even know he had.
Yeah. So it's mine. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh,
Anyways.
God. Yes. I think we did well. I think we did good.
Once I cast Gary Busey, I knew I was fucked.
I pretty much knew that when I picked Arnold Schwarzenegger for Hard Target. It's like, all right.
Right? You back yourself into a corner. Then you just got to go beefcake on beefcake.
Going big.
Like you could have just recast all of Predator to do Hard Target.
I initially, for Uncle Duvee, because I was messing around where Christopher Walken could go, I initially had Nick Nolte.
Wow.
Playing a true to life drunk, lost in the woods, a drunk who's situated in the woods.
Like American Mike 3 when he's lost in the woods. Say hello to your mother. Anyways,
on that note, give us some plugs.
I had Walken as the bad guy, as my Lance Henriksen for a while until I'm watching the movie and I'm like, Walken's not going this crazy with the role.
Oh God, he could.
I don't think he could.
Look at his True Romance monologue scene.
Yeah,
where
but
he went so many different ways.
That's different than taking a fucking shotgun blast to the chest and flying back 20 feet and then just getting up like nothing's wrong.
So in the longer version, the movie was supposed to be more about Emil and Pick, probably being lovers. So if Christopher Walken is your Emil, who's his lover and is Pick Van Cleef?
Holy shit, I had a hard time doing Pick Van Cleef to begin with.
Willem Dafoe?
Whoa. Interesting.
Willem, I thought about Willem for Emil, because Willem can play that slimy...
Willem can do anything.
Willem can do anything. Love you, Willem. Because I know he's listening.
Yes. He's the one in Canada that we have.
Oh, yeah. I heart Willem.
I still want to see my Robert Zadar and what's his name from Samurai Cop.
Oh. God. I think you just need to watch Samurai Cop.
Oh, please don't.
All right, give us some plugs.
I'll give you a tip of advice though. If you're gonna watch Samurai Cop, watch the actual version and don't watch the mysteries, the Riff Tracks version. There's a whole lot of sex in the original version.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the boobies, so I got to hear the jokes.
There's plenty of it.
Yeah. I still got to see all the Speedo, though.
Yeah, well, he has less of a outfit on than she does. All right. Well, if you liked this at all, thank you for listening. If you like it, tell a friend. If you hate it, tell a friend. You can get some feedback on these lists at on Twitter at ISeenItPod. You can tag us specifically if you want. I don't know if I'll see it. I'll see it on the ISeenItPod web Twitter handle, but
See it if you tag me. I like being tagged.
all right.
I promise.
Well, yeah. And again, we love you, John Woo. I'm glad you made these movies.
I wish you would have made these movies like this. Bye!
Yeah. Bye.
Thanks again for listening to Fantasy Fanatic by Indie Drop-In Network. If you would like to nominate a podcast for feature, just send me a tweet at Indie Drop-In. Indie Drop-In Network has many other shows you might enjoy. You can check them out at indiedropin.com. All right, see you next time.